So I hope like everyone like are aware at least what is Snowflake, right? So if we see the agenda for today, what I would like to cover in this demo is uh, like who this course is for. Like that is the Snowflake. We'll go into Snowflake, what is Snowflake, and all this stuff. Before that, I mean, with some intention, you all guys would have joined this particular demo, right? So who this course is for? This is for like we are, since we are starting from basics to advanced level. Even freshers will be able to manage the work, in the sense they'll be able to make out like learn Snowflake out of this training, apart from experienced folks. Okay, let me. Yeah. So working professionals who are already working in other technologies, or maybe some few folks like who are already working on Snowflake but would like to gain expertise on Snowflake, right? For them, like if working professionals who are developers, leads, testers, administrators, architects, and managers, even managers, we are sharing, since we are sharing basic to advanced level of like knowledge, like it will be useful for everyone. Uh, you are able to hear my screen. I mean, hear me and see my screen, right? Are you facing same issue?
Yes.
Okay, good. So the prerequisites for this course are like, if it is good to have SQL knowledge, but someone like who are freshers, I'll be will be giving additional resources for them, like maybe one or two extra sessions to make them understand what is database, all this stuff. Like, but if someone who already have SQL or ETL background, it will be very easy for them to learn Snowflake. It will not be a big deal. Like it will be very easy sort of thing. Okay, and do we need to install any software as such? Like no, like this is Snowflake is data solution. It is software as a solution provided in cloud. Okay, so no need to install any software, upgrade anything. Like we'll be able to directly like do it in browser itself. We'll go to that point. And even for this session, I mean for these sessions, no need to install any software as such. You can directly join from web, since we are using Google Meets, right? So no need to install any software for that as well. So why Snowflake? So, I mean, we have a lot of other skills. Like, why do you want to learn Snowflake, and what will be the future of Snowflake, right? That's what we'll try to cover in this particular demo session. And what after the end of this particular session, like what you will be able to make out, in the sense, what are the key takeaways of this course? Those were the things like we are going to cover in this particular demo session. Okay, so when like experienced folks like who are already working in IT, right? If they hear Snowflake, they'll instantly remember Snowflake schema in data warehousing model, right? It is nowhere related. This Snowflake is nowhere related to that Snowflake schema. Okay, many guys get confused with it. First, I would like to clear out that this is what is Snowflake is. It is a cloud data platform. Like it can be um, it is available on all public cloud providers like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. Okay, this is advantage for Snowflake. We'll see like why Snowflake is. See, if you see the current market, like Snowflake is kind of booming, and it is very hard skill now, and there is a lot of resource gap, in a sense. Many like openings are more, and resources who has got like expertise in Snowflake, they're very less. So like, and even if you see the market trend, like the packages were also like very high, like compared to other skills, like traditional skills, old skills and all. If you see the overview of current Snowflake job market in India, like packages in India, if you see 4 years guys, 4 years guys are getting like 15 lakhs, and then up to 6 years guys 25, and 9 years up to 40 they're getting. Like even companies like typical service-based companies are also giving good packages for this particular skill. Okay, you can understand like if you, I mean, if they're even typical service-based companies, if they are able to offer good package, this level of package, these were not hype figures. Many folks like who are working, right? You can check with them like what is the job market on Snowflake. Okay, so this is you can understand now like how the current trend for Snowflake is now. We'll see like why it is booming and why all of a sudden it started booming. See, this particular Snowflake, it started, the boom started since, you will say, like two to 3 years, like it is just 2 to 3 years, and this is new skill. Okay, that's why, like all of a sudden it started booming, and a lot of projects started migrating to Snowflake. That's when this particular I mean demand for Snowflake has raised, and they are not able to find resources. So we even since I'm working as a Snowflake expert in one of the MNCs, I usually take like 4 5 interviews per day, like in order to fill resources for particular accounts. So then, like if we take like 10 20 interviews, like we are able to fill 2 3 resources, 2 3 positions, because we are not able to get the expertise in Snowflake. I mean, expertise in the sense that we are not expecting expertise, but at least who are aware of basic stuff on Snowflake, right? So even another advantage for Snowflake, I mean, if someone wanted to switch on Snowflake, is since it is new skill, whoever are taking your entries, right? They also would have learned it recently, like in the last 1 or 2 years. So even they are not experts in that. So it is all on basic level, but we are covering our content is focused more on like from basic to very advanced level, so that you can clear even the architect and manager roles on Snowflake. Okay, so let's see, like why Snowflake has this boom and why it is trending. Okay, the reason behind this is like Snowflake key differentiators compared to other cloud data. If you see the competitors for Snowflake, right? If you take Azure, in Azure cloud we have Synapse, that is a data warehouse. So that is kind of, it was introduced to 1 year back. But if you compare Snowflake and Synapse, I mean, in each and every factor, Snowflake has edge. In the sense, Snowflake um, has advantage. That's why many projects are started migrating. And if you take Google Cloud, we have BigQuery, right? That is kind of competitor for the Snowflake. But if you compare BigQuery and Snowflake, Snowflake has a lot of advantages and edge, clear edge. Like you can maybe if required, I can show those things also. But we are, that's reason, like most of the projects they are migrating to Snowflake. That is, if the data is in like Oracle, SQL Server, or any relational database, even MongoDB, big data that is there in data lake, that data is being like migrated into Snowflake for data analytics. We'll see why Snowflake is kind of trending. The reason is its innovative architecture and unique features. We'll see like what's unique with Snowflake architecture. Okay, so like if you see what is Snowflake Cloud Data Platform, right? It is a modern data platform available as software as a service on all three leading cloud platforms. That is Google Cloud, AWS, Azure. See, I was saying like there were cloud data warehouses available in Azure and Google Cloud, even AWS, Redshift we have. So why like Snowflake has edge is, another advantage for Snowflake is it is available on all three cloud platforms. That is Google Cloud, AWS, Azure. Okay, so since it is we can use Snowflake on any cloud. See, the if you check with like someone like who are forecasting or predicting the future, right, of IT technologies and all, companies are not going to stick to one cloud. So if you see now itself, like AWS has edge in terms of infrastructure, like that is infrastructure related services. AWS is leading. If you take like data services, right, Azure is leading in terms of cloud. And if you take this machine learning, artificial intelligence related things, Google Cloud is leading. In the sense, each cloud is leading in one particular area. That's why in future companies may use like may opt for multi cloud. In the sense, they'll use like AWS for infrastructure, like for data related services they might use Azure, and artificial intelligence and machine learning services they might use Google Cloud. So in that case, if they opt for Snowflake, what they'll have more advantages because it supports all three platforms, right? And other advantages also we'll see, like we'll be able to directly integrate data from all three like clouds, that is Google Cloud, AWS, or Azure. That's like key advantage for Snowflake, because this is available on all cloud platforms. So whoever wanted to move into cloud skills, right, this is the best skill. And even if you take the content, what you have to learn for the Snowflake, right, it is restricted. It is not vast like other other clouds. Like if you, I mean, cloud services. Suppose if you want to learn Azure, if you learn one service, that is not enough. Like in interview, they'll ask you multiple services. Like even AWS or Google Cloud, if you learn only one service, it will not be enough. Like you have to learn multiple services. But here, this is, I mean, if you learn Snowflake, that would be enough. And but you should have like at least basic understanding of like one or two services in AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. Okay, we'll see. I like in this course, like we'll be covering that stuff also. Like whatever the cloud basics that were required. That is in terms of, if you say like if you are going for AWS, what services we need. Like we will be using S3 for storage, and like probably even the other IAM. We don't need the IAM service, but that is for security in order to give access and all. That AWS team will take care, but we should have some basic understanding. So those stuff will be covering as a part of this session. Okay, I mean this content. This like this is
Hitesh,
yeah. Yeah,
what is the service you are talking about?
Hello.
Hello, what
Sorry,
is the
what is
service
that?
you are talking about? It means
This is Snowflake,
service.
right? Sorry.
No, you are talking. There are multiple services.
Can we take?
There are multiple services in the.
Okay. Okay. The multiple services in cloud. Like I mean Azure. Like if you take Azure, we have Azure Data Factory, Azure Synapse, Azure Databricks, all these things. But here it's not the case, right? The content is restricted. That's what I mean. Probably we'll take all the questions in the end, right? Or else, yeah, that's fine. Like if you, I mean, it would be better like if it is more interactive sort of. So, are you clear? What services I mean?
Yes.
Okay, good,
Yes.
good. Okay, great. So, and if you see here, like since this is modern data platform, the main purpose that we use Snowflake is for data warehouse, but we can use Snowflake as data lake also, like data lake, data engineering services. In order to like we can use all these for data science related stuff, data applications, data exchange, all these things. Like we can do it with Snowflake. But primarily right now, all the companies, they were using Snowflake as data warehouse or data lake. And recently there is some more thing like data lake house. That is, it is combination of data warehouse and data lake. Okay, so as Snowflake, we can use it as a data lake house also. Don't worry, like who are from like other backgrounds, don't worry about the terminologies. As a part of this particular course, like we'll be covering all the details in from basics. So what is data warehouse, what is data lake, what is data lake house, all the stuff will be covered. Okay, from very basic to advanced level we are going. Okay, if you see, I was saying like Snowflake architecture is unique and innovative architecture, right? If you see here, like this is let me put it in presenter mode so that you guys can see it clearly. If you see, it is the advantage with Snowflake architecture is, if you compare it with relational database or big data architecture, the advantage for this is kind of hybrid architecture. It takes advantages from relational databases and also from big data architecture. So big data project didn't click, right? The reason is there were few flaws in this architecture. Okay, that's the reason. So with the Snowflake architecture, this is kind of it takes advantage from relational databases, that is Oracle, SQL Server, those databases, right? That architecture, it takes the advantages from that architecture. What are all advantages? That is basically storage. So if you, I'll explain you in detail why in terms of architecture, what is difference between like relational databases like Oracle, SQL Server, or relational database, and Hadoop like HDFS and Hadoop architecture. This is combination of this is hybrid architecture, and if you see what is unique with the Snowflake architecture is storage is separate, in the sense it is like not coupled with process compute. Okay, that is coupled in the sense, usually if you see, let me show you this. See here, this is kind of like relational database architecture, that is any SQL Server or Oracle, right? There we'll be maintaining all the data in one particular server, that is say all the data as well as compute, in the sense processor, RAM, everything. It is one mission, right? It is one mission. If you take simply in simple terms, this relational database, we can, if we want to increase the processing capacity or memory, RAM, all these things, we have limitations. In the sense, we can't go beyond certain limit, right? This is, I mean, in terms of relational database, what I mean to say, like Oracle, SQL Server, those things. So, and if you take Hadoop architecture, we can scale, but there storage also is kind of, let me show you that as well. There it will be kind of master and slave architectures. Don't get confused. We will be discussing the architecture in detail. What here, if you take in slave nodes, all the data as well as the processing will happen in slave nodes itself, right? But here, in this case, like processing, that is compute, in the sense like your processor, RAM, memory, all these things will be a separate layer. In the sense, it is not coupled with storage. All your data can be stored in cloud. Okay, this is separate layer, storage. Okay, and processing, like it is a separate layer altogether. That is, for query processing, we'll use virtual warehouses. In the sense, this is virtual warehouse is nothing but a cluster of compute nodes. In the sense, a cluster of missions, a group of missions. We can use a group of missions to process our workloads. In the sense, suppose if someone are querying some data or loading some data, like they can use this virtual warehouses for querying, and all their data is stored in cloud. In the sense, in the backend, Snowflake will use any of the public cloud providers. Like I mean, when you create Snowflake account, we get that option to select which particular cloud you want to host our Snowflake account. We can host it on like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. I'll show you that. Like, don't get confused. But in terms of architecture, what advantage we get is, since processing is separate and storage is separate, in the sense they are independent. So we can scale storage independently to any extent. Okay, that is, I mean, irrespective of compute. Okay, and compute based on our workloads, we can choose the warehouse size. I'll show you what is warehouse size, all these things. We'll explain this architecture in detail. Since this is demonstration, we are giving an overview of the advantage, I mean, what we get with Snowflake architecture. Okay, and all like coordination between this query processing, storage, and other stuff like access control, infrastructure management, all these things will be taken care by cloud service layer. So it is 3-layer architecture. All the layers are kind of independent. They're not coupled with each other. In the sense, if you take like our relational database, right? In one mission, we have storage and compute. So like if you want to there is no scope for scaling it. Like here, the advantage is, suppose few companies might have like large volumes of data, but they'll be using very less compute. But few companies, they'll have small data but using very huge compute. In the sense, they'll be doing a lot of analytical things and then query processing. In that case, since these two are separate, and even the billing cost, right? Cost also will be charged separately for processing and separate for storage. Okay, but storage costs are very minimal here in case of Snowflake. The only for compute it will cost, and even in compute, whenever like say we will not be using compute throughout the day, right? Only in the peak times, or like say, suppose if you are loading data, we'll be doing loads, say like every, I mean, in case of traditional systems, we'll be doing overnight. In the sense, only in the nights we'll be doing data loads, right? So only that time we can make our warehouse active. Other times, like we can like suspend that warehouse. That is only for the time, whichever whatever time our warehouse is active, we'll be paying money only for that time. Okay, that's the advantage. We'll not be paying for the entire day or for the whole time. Whatever, I mean, how much ever time it is active, this warehouse only will be paying for that time. That's another advantage. So we'll pay only for what we use. Okay, and it will be like the warehouse billing will happen on second basis. That is, every second, if you have used for say like 70 seconds, will be billed only for 70 seconds. That's how it is. Okay, we can, after, if you feel like our warehouse is ideal, there are options to even auto suspend that warehouse. Okay, it's the advantage with Snowflake architecture is mainly with compute. And we'll see like what is this warehouse. In the sense, we can select multiple warehouse sizes. We have, that is, this is warehouse is nothing but, if you see here, I've listed warehouse is a cluster of compute nodes or missions. That is server compute capacity. In the sense, like for processing your queries, suppose you say like big billion day, when big billion day happens for Flipkart, right? that time the traffic on the website will go up. In those scenarios, like suppose if you're using Snowflake for analytics, right? This here the data loads, we can set our warehouse to auto scale mode, and depending on the size we select. So for querying the data, we can select any warehouse size. That is, extra small will have one compute node, small will have two compute nodes. That is cluster of group of two compute nodes. Okay, don't get confused. We'll explain these things in detail, but whoever already have some knowledge, right, on database, they'll be able to make out what I mean to say, like in these terms. This is medium is nothing but 4 compute nodes. So what will happen is we can distribute our workload on this. Suppose for your workload, if you have selected large warehouse, this particular one, it will have 8 compute nodes. It will make use of all the resources of all these 8 compute nodes for your data load. Okay, that way it will be very fast, right? Your suppose the restriction with our current relational databases, we can, in terms of scaling, it is restricted to only one machine, right? So in this case, since if you select large warehouse, it will have 8 compute nodes. So you can distribute your workload across these 8 machines. Okay, then it will be faster, pretty faster. That way, if you select 4XL, right? This is currently available on all clouds. That is, if you create Snowflake account and if you start using that, you will be able to select 4XL warehouse size on all clusters for our compute. If you take 4XL clusters, warehouse size, it will have 128 compute missions. That is, you can scale your, you can distribute your load on your server to these many like compute nodes. That is, at a time, like your load at one point of time, your load will be distributed across 128 compute missions. That's what is the advantage. I hope you are getting it. And again, in this, suppose if you are selecting 128, this 4XL is 128, right? And there were some more like 5XL and 6XL. They were in preview state. So if you take 6XL, it will have 512 compute nodes. Okay, so if you select 6XL once it is available, then it is kind of your load will be distributed across 512 nodes and compute capacity. Your compute resources. Suppose like you can think of one server. If one server is able to like serve in relational database, right? There will be multiple users querying a single database or on that server. Like on top of that server, there will be multiple databases, and they'll be querying. Like multiple users will be querying that on that server, on top of that server, right? If you take that is one mission. So here, if you take like 6XL, it will have 512 missions. You can think of like how much workload it will be able to serve, in the sense how many users it will be able to serve. I hope you got it right. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, it is. It is clear.
Yeah, that's good. Like probably who are from different background, like you'll understand it better when we when we discuss in detail in our course. Like this just demo purpose, right? I wanted to highlight like what advantage we get with this virtual warehouse. Okay, sorry, this Snowflake architecture. This is mainly with compute, and even storage. It can be scaled to any extent. Since it is on cloud, like there is no limit. You can host like even like 100 TBs of data also. Like there is no limit as such. You can host any volumes of data. Okay, and they are separate. They are not coupled together. Okay, so this compute is separate, storage is separate. Okay, so you can scale storage to any extent independently. Compute also you can scale independently to any extent, because you have seen, right, cluster size till 6XL. And there is one more thing. See, if suppose now we have this 4XL already available, right? To this extent we will be able to use it now. So if you take if we set there is another option to set our warehouse to auto scale mode. That is multi-cluster warehouse we can do. That is, if you set your warehouse to multi-cluster warehouse, as a multi-cluster warehouse, we can like this is one cluster, right? 4XL. This 4XL size clusters, we can add up to 10 clusters depending on our workload. That is 4XL into 10. That is 4XL will have 128 computes, right? Compute nodes. That is 128 into 10. Up to 10 clusters we will be able to add. In the sense, for one workload, suppose whatever queries you are running, right? You wanted to increase it. in case of big billion days and all, there will be traffic will be more in those scenarios. If you want to increase your warehouse size, that is based on workload on demand. If traffic is increases, then automatically it should spin in another cluster. This 4XL will have 128 nodes. It will, if you set it to auto scale mode, and I said like we can increase up to 10 clusters, right? That is, if you set it to auto scale mode, what we can do is it will spin another 10 clusters based on our workload. That is 4XL into 10. Okay, that in that case, how many compute nodes? It will be 1280 compute missions will be able to handle your workloads, like at one point of time. This is at one point of time. You can think of like what advantage we get. It will be able to handle any volumes of data, very large volumes of data. I hope you got it right. Then our workloads can be distributed across these 128 nodes based on demand. On demand. Suppose that is right now I have set my warehouse to auto scale mode, and I selected 4XL warehouse. Okay, it will have 128 compute nodes. Say my workload has gone up, in the sense this particular warehouse is not able to serve this workload. Automatically, Snowflake itself will spin in another cluster. Okay, with the same size, 4XL size, and that means it will be 128 into 128, 256. 256 compute nodes will be like acting on your workloads, that is your queries. Okay, and say like if you set it to 10 warehouse, that way like even your second compute warehouse, second cluster also is not able to serve the workload. Then in that case, it can be scaled to Snowflake will automatically spin in another cluster, third cluster. That way it can spin in up to 10 clusters. Okay, that's the advantage. Then you can think of if this 6XL is live, in the sense that if it is available for general public, then you can think of it will be 5120 nodes. Like it will be able to support, in the sense we can scale our compute to that extent. Okay, that's the key advantage. And there were again couple of unique features also with Snowflake. Apart from this architecture advantage, there were unique features as well. Before that, I'll share this WhatsApp group. Like whoever wanted to join, right, this particular batch, you can join this particular WhatsApp group, so that I'll ping it in the chat. Like we'll continue our demo with other things, like what other benefits we get. Like whoever wanted to join, right, like they can join this particular WhatsApp group, so that, and I'll share my email and like contact details as well. We'll quickly go to this like agenda. Like we were discussing, we have discussed this advantage we get with Snowflake unique architecture, right? So if you see other advantage, other unique features that Snowflake offers are, it is zero administration or maintenance. In the sense, since this is software as a service, I hope like you are aware like what is software as a service. So since this is software as a service, it is kind of like we'll be able to Snowflake itself internally, if someone is from SQL background and database background, they'll be aware what administrators will do. They'll do partitions, they'll take backups, index maintenance, performance tuning, all this stuff we'll have to take care, right? Here we no need to worry about all this stuff. Snowflake itself will take care of all these things. Okay, that is data backups, partitioning, everything. Since it is software as a service, we no need to worry about anything. We can load our data and we can use it for our insights. No need to that's what is their intention also. Like no need to focus on like maintaining infrastructure and then performing this partition. Creating partitions, data backups, index maintenance, performance tuning, all these things we no need to worry. Like Snowflake itself will take care of all these things since it is software as a service. And any software upgradations or installations, nothing. Like we are not worried about all these things. This is zero administration and maintenance. And if you see other things, it is available on all clouds, all public clouds. That is AWS, Azure, GCP. So we are not going to stick to, even if you are learning Snowflake, you are not going to stick to one cloud. In the sense, you will get you can take advantage of. Suppose sometimes Azure will be booming, sometimes Google cloud will. Now if you see, AWS is projects are not. It has kind of matured. Lot new projects. Most of the new projects were into Azure and Google space. Okay, so we are not worried about which cloud is booming all these things. It is not restricted to one cloud. It is available across all clouds, and even companies will get advantage of because of this particular reason. That is, since it is available on cloud on all clouds, because we'll be able to integrate and exchange data across clouds using Snowflake. That is, using Snowflake, we'll be able to read data that is there in Azure, that is there in AWS, that is there in Google also, Google Cloud also. That is, we are not restricted to one cloud. Okay, that is another main advantage for Snowflake. And if you see, it is easy to use. It is, since it is software as a service, even through UI. If I have to show you the UI, right? It will be easy to use. You can, if you want to create database, you can create it with UI also. I mean, you can do with SQL as well as UI also. Simply we can do. For everything, they have given UI also. In the sense, whatever you wanted to do with UI, you will be, I mean, SQL, you will be able to do it UI also. And suppose if someone can't remember the syntax and all, for that also, suppose if you give, I am giving test, it will show the syntax for that is SQL statement for all the code as well. That is, it will be simple to use. Okay, so if someone can't remember syntaxes and all, we'll be able to make out this way also. For everything, whatever objects you create, whatever things you do, right? For everything, we'll be able to generate SQL there itself. Okay, that's an advantage. It is designed in such a way that it is everyone can easily learn it and use it. Okay, that's when that Snowflake everyone will start using, right? That's the reason. And if you see other unique feature, we have time travel. Okay, time travel is nothing but suppose in usual case, what we'll do, like suppose if you want to query, like last Sunday what was the data, right? We can do it with time travel option. In the sense, suppose in one particular table, at 9 a.m. last week Sunday, I wanted to query what was the data at that point of time in my table, in that particular table. Using this time travel option, we can directly like go to that point and get that data. Okay, that is query the data. That's another advantage we get with time travel. Okay, and this is without any backup. We are not going to take any backup, right? And even if you want to restore data to one to say like now it is 10:30, right? I wanted to restore my database to say 9 a.m. I'll be able to do that with time travel option. Okay, and even suppose accidentally if you have dropped any tables or any objects, right? We'll be able to undrop those tables using this time travel option. That is, if you have accidentally dropped a table, we'll be able to undrop this table. Okay, using this time travel option. So we'll discuss how it works, how this time travel works in the backend in detail in our sessions. Okay, for now, since it is demo, we are giving it on high level. And if you say now, another unique feature for Snowflake is data marketplace. That is, advantage we get with data marketplace is, this is kind of, suppose now since data volumes, I mean data is kind of a new oil nowadays. It is you know, right? Like with data is everything now. In the sense, data is kind of new oil. So companies, if they have some data which they have acquired, it is not only that they'll be using it for their purpose. They can sell their data also. Companies are looking at that front also. So whatever the insights that they can get, they'll get it. And if they want to sell that data to someone else, to say to some other clients, we'll be able to do that with Snowflake data marketplace. That is, here it is data as a service. In the sense, we are directly giving data to them. That is live data. Suppose we'll be updating that data, right? In the sense that will not be kind of stale data. That is data which is not changing. Even if it changes, the live data will be able to share with our clients. Suppose if you are selling your data to some other client, we'll be able to share live data. If you make any updates to your basic data set, that those changes will appear to the client also. That's how it works. Okay, so this is very advantageous feature. It is not only we are selling the data. If you want to buy, if you want to get insights from some other data, which if you feel like, basically nowadays it is all public data sets are also available, right? So if you take many companies, even they'll be loading their public data sets also. And say like in case of India, we have Aadhaar information and couple of other public data sets, right? Those things also they'll be, and if you see, like they'll try to like load all public data sets into their database and manage that also. They'll create some process, they'll assign some resource for that to maintain the data, all these things. But here, if someone is already selling that data, you can get the data and use it for your analytics without maintaining the data. Someone else will be maintaining the data. You will be directly using that data. I hope like you're getting the advantage of this data marketplace. Okay. Are you guys clear? It is.
Yes. Yes, Hitesh. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
If,
Hitesh. One question in terms of that sharing the data to a different client. I mean, is it a right time to
yeah, for
continue
sure.
the?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
You can ask.
yeah. So basically, if the client doesn't have a Snowflake account, so how that works?
That also we have, like if you see secure data sharing, we have, we can create, even we can share data with non-Snowflake accounts with reader accounts. There is some concept called reader accounts. Okay, we can create a reader account and we can share whatever data you wanted to access. Basically, we'll give one URL for them and user and password. He can log in and get data from that.
Okay, so basically, they will that cost will be incurred on the guy who is sharing.
Whoever is sharing the data. That's right.
Okay, fine, Hitesh. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, we are going to that stuff also. Okay, so you can make out, if you go here, we'll be able to see data marketplace in AWS, right? Here, if you see, we'll have all public data sets available. So this is another key feature for Snowflake. Suppose if someone wanted to like directly use data that is already there without managing that, they'll be able to do that. And if you want to sell your data, you'll be able to sell data also. Okay, that's what it is. Let's move back. And other advantages were, like it supports like we'll be able to store and process semi-structured data also, like JSON, Avro, ORC, Parquet, XML. So who are not aware of this stuff, right, don't worry, we'll be discussing all this stuff in detail in our sessions, okay, as a part of this course. And unstructured data also, like right now it is on preview state, soon it will be live. So we'll be able to manage other things like audio files, video files, PDFs, images, all these things also will be able to handle it in Snowflake itself. Okay, since they're kind of, since it is software as a service, Snowflake guys are so focused, so they'll release features every week. In the sense, they'll release updates every week. So they are making sure Snowflake is an on top of all databases, in the sense all data warehouses. In terms of data house, they're making sure it has edge over all other competitors. Okay, and its unique hybrid architecture is patented, this particular architecture. So the main advantage with architecture, apart from this, we have these key features. And if you see true pay as you go model, it is billing will happen on second basis, per second. If you're using it for say 90 seconds, you'll be paying only for 90 seconds. If the warehouse is inactive, in the sense if it is not in use, we can suspend that warehouse, auto suspend. That is, automatically Snowflake itself will suspend that warehouse. These sort of features are not available in this one, like say Synops or those things, right? We'll have to manually suspend that data warehouse units in Synops. I hope like if someone from Azure background, they'll be able to relate. Okay, so auto scale, we can set our warehouse to auto scale mode. That is, based on workloads, it will automatically spin in other cluster. Okay, we have seen, right, 4XL we can spin in up to 10 clusters, I said, right? So that is based on workload. Suppose based on workload, if our current warehouse is not able to serve the workload, then we can scale up to like 10 clusters. That is done in an automated way. In a sense, Snowflake, based on our workload, it will automatically scale it. Okay, and then secure data sharing. That is, we'll be able to share live data. This data marketplace is where we can buy and sell the data. Here, few data sets are free here in public data marketplace. Okay, few public free data sets also will be available. And then internally, that the data marketplace will use this secure data sharing option. Okay, we'll be able to share data with other Snowflake accounts and like even to other cloud platforms also, other databases and to other cloud platforms using data replication. Okay, and even we can suppose in case of cloud failures, say that won't happen, but suppose say like AWS was down for some reason. I mean, it usually it will not be down, but in case if you take like it is down, we can whatever data we are residing on AWS, we can host it in, we can maintain a secondary database in Azure, and we can using this data replication option. In case of failure, automatically it will turn on the secondary database that's there in Azure as your primary database. That option also Snowflake is providing with this database replication option. Okay. So these are very unique features. No other cloud platforms are supporting or have these features. And secure data sharing is live data will be able to share with other different Snowflake accounts without copying the data. That is, data will reside only in your account. I mean, in our account, but they'll be able to use that data, live data. That is, they'll be able to query that data. They'll not be able to perform any DML operations, but they'll be able to read the data and generate reports, whatever they wanted to do. Okay. And even as I said, like we'll be able to share with other non-Snowflake account users also using reader accounts. Okay. And there were other interesting features like zero copy clone, external tables, Snowflake Partner Connect. Partner connectors, it is not only like Snowflake. Snowflake has, if you see here, let me show you Partner Connect. They have like established partnership with leading like service technology providers like say Informatica, and then Matillion, like even Data Robot, like fewer artificial and data science related things, machine learning, data science related technology partners, DBT, Alter. So they have very good collaboration with other leading technology partners, in the sense who offers like say ETL related. Informatica is kind of top, right? So they have very good collaboration with Informatica, and they have connectors, all these things for Snowflake. If they wanted to push data from some other or extract data from some source and push it into Snowflake or perform transformations in Snowflake, these guys, Snowflake guys, have established very good partnership with them. They'll collaboratively they'll release new features and all, so that even in like tools, you will have connectors for in all tools we have connectors for Snowflake. Okay, so that way also it is advantageous. I mean, who are clients who are looking for Snowflake, right? They can take advantage of this. Okay, and then external tables. This was nothing but, suppose if you are maintaining data lake, say in AWS S3 or Azure Blob or Google Cloud Storage, right? Using these external tables, we'll be able to directly read the data that is there in like that particular cloud storage. Okay, object store we call, like this S3 or Azure Blob, we call that object store. Whatever files that were there in that particular cloud, right, we'll be able to directly read them in Snowflake without loading it. Okay, using external tables. And even we can create logical partitions also here. So that advantage also is there. And the Partner Connect we have seen. Snowpark, see, this is another game-changing feature for Snowflake. Okay, because this is kind of this is I mean, 2 days back they released Snowpark for general public usage. It supports Java and Scala right now. Okay, but clients are looking for Python support. Okay, once this is Python support for Snowflake is in preview state now. Once it is live, that is, if it is available for general public, this is going to be a game changer for Snowflake, because the reason is, what the Snowpark will do is, we'll be able to perform whatever activities we can do with Spark or Databricks. I hope like someone, at least the guys have idea like what purpose we'll use them. So whatever things we'll be able to do that with those Databricks or Spark, right? Those things we'll be able to do it with Snowpark itself within Snowflake. That is, Snowflake is providing end-to-end solution, in the sense it has even giving a future for reporting also. If you see, the basic reporting will be able to do it with the Snowsight. Okay, so it is and it is supporting like artificial intelligence related, machine learning related, everything, like they're releasing the options to perform. That is, using Snowflake itself, we'll be able to do all these things, all this stuff. That is, at one place we'll have everything. That way they're trying to do this. But this Snowpark is kind of, it will serve the purpose of what Databricks or Spark will do. That is, we'll be able to write Python code, and we can make advantage of our warehouse, we have seen, right, up to what extent we can scale our warehouse. That is we can take advantage of that, and we can put our ETL loads also on top of this using Snowpark on top of our warehouse, that is compute cluster. Okay, that's once this is available, whatever the market is now for Snowflake, it will it might there is I mean, it might go like threefold. That is, it can increase, it can become 3-4 times. This has that potential, this Snowpark. Okay, so if you see like the future of this Snowflake, it will be very good. So whoever are, since this is new skill, already there is a lot of demand. If whoever are opting for the Snowflake and learning it, they'll have very good future. Okay, and if you see, let's see quickly see. I already like it is kind of 10:50. We'll see the content, like what we are going to cover in this particular course. Okay, so we'll start with the data warehouse basics. So if someone, I think, who are already from that background, for them it will be kind of quick recap. We're not going in detail, but high level, like for the folks who are from other backgrounds, right? For them it will be advantage in the sense. This is, since most of the times, like Snowflake, we are using it as a data warehouse. Even in interview point of view, they'll be focusing on data warehousing also. So at least the basic stuff. So we are covering that. What is OLTP? That is transactional system and analytical OLAP, those things. And then key cloud computing concept. Since most of them are not from cloud background, we'll be covering what is in terms of cloud also, what cloud computing concepts, like cloud introduction, on-premises versus the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. What are the differences? And then we'll get started with Snowflake, where we'll be covering most of all the things from basics, very basics, to advanced level. So we just saw architecture, right? But in detail, we'll be covering what is shared disk and what is shared nothing architecture. That is relational databases, OLTP versus relational databases versus Hadoop architecture, and how like Snowflake architecture has advantage compared to those two architectures. Okay, those things, and deep dive on each layer. We have seen 3 layers, right? Cloud, that is compute, storage, and cloud services. So we'll be kind of like doing deep dive into each layer in architecture, and then like how to create a warehouse, how to set it to auto scale mode, all these things in detail, like we'll be covering. And then see all this stuff, like no other if you take other, I mean, institute or wherever, like whoever are providing Snowflake training, right, they'll not be covering this content to this level. And even we are covering real challenges that we face in warehouse perspective. Okay, that no one will be telling you like what real challenges we face in this compute in terms of warehouse. Okay, and like Snowflake objects will be covering all the objects that Snowflake provides, and deep dive into types of tables, and then time travel, fail safe. There are a couple more options, and then role-based access control. Whoever has already knowledge on Snowflake, right, they'll be aware. Others don't worry. Like we'll be discussing all the things in detail. Okay, and then pricing. Many guys are not aware how like pricing. I mean, Snowflake is charged in terms of compute, in terms of storage, and even in terms of cloud service layer. Okay, all the things will be covering in detail. So these things are important for experienced guys, like who have like who are very seniors, right? Who are looking for manager or architect level of role. For them, pricing is important. So we are covering that stuff also. We are not. I mean, we are covering all the topics and all the content that is with respect to Snowflake. Even cloud related also, like AWS, what things are required for Snowflake, all these things. And in terms of like performance, few things we can do it. I mean, Snowflake will automatically provide take care of performance, but few options we have. So those things like pruning, clustering, these things we'll be discussing, like how it works in terms of performance. These were in terms of performance and data organization in Snowflake. Okay, and even in data lake. See, many guys are not aware what is data lake, right? How it looks, all these things. So we'll be covering those stuff also. And different types of stages: internal, external, table stage, user stage. Don't worry, like we are covering everything in detail. I just wanted to give like few guys, like they already have like Snowflake I mean, they're already using Snowflake and kind of wanted to gain expertise. For them, I'm showing all this content. Okay, and file formats, structured, semi-structured data, how to handle them, JSON data, Parquet data, like how we'll handle the semi-structured data types and sequences. What difference with respect to relational databases? How sequences will behave in Oracle or SQL Server, and how it behaves in Snowflake? What difference it is? So these things, couple of things are like whatever we have highlighted this in this color, right? They were all different. I mean, our course differentiators. Others will not be covering this stuff. Okay, real issues we encounter in data loads. Okay, error handling in data loads, and then suppose if you after this course you'll be directly, I mean, you can directly work on Snowflake projects, and you will be able to manage like even if you want someone wanted to switch technology, they'll be able to manage 2 to 3 years of experience on Snowflake. That is, if you wanted to switch technology, you will gain that level of expertise after this course. Okay. And a couple of real issues in terms of Snowpipe. We have for in order to load streaming sort of data, right? Snowflake has provided Snowpipe. Okay, we'll be covering that in detail, like and what real issues we face. Okay, and then couple of integrations, Snowflake connector for Kafka, all these things, and then what are different caches available in Snowflake. We'll deep dive on this. Like we'll have to understand this better. If we have to, even in interview point of view, they'll focus more on this, because if you understand architecture, caches, the Snowflake internal stuff, right? Then you will have, I mean, you will be able to write queries with good optimal queries, right? That's why. So even interview they'll be focusing these things. So we are covering all that stuff, and then optimize Snowflake query performance and leave tasks. This is task for kind of for scheduling. Anything in Snowflake, right? We have these tasks. So we'll be covering all the things related to tasks, transactions in Snowflake, streams. Streams were kind of for CDC implementation, change data capture, right? That is, if you want to implement SA type 1, type 2, if someone who are not aware, don't worry. Like with this, for the folks like who are experienced, for them, we are covering this stuff. We'll be using the streams. We'll be able to implement this SCD scenarios very easily. Okay, and then building data pipelines, that is for incremental, delta, historical, all these things. That is different data loads. We'll be able to how we'll build incremental data pipelines and historical data loads in real world, right? Those things will be covering. Error handling in data pipelines, generic stored procs for workloads, and migration. So most of the projects, since it is related to migration, say they'll be migrating data from Oracle SQL Server to Snowflake. So we'll be covering those things also. What things we'll have to consider in migration, what will be the migration approach, all these things, and advanced SQL techniques, secure data sharing, setting up load monitors. So all these things in terms of, even in terms of security and other things. This is end-to-end course, and even we'll be covering, giving an overview of Matillion for Snowflake. Matillion is cloud data warehouse. These were additional things. They were not required, mandatory, but we are covering it. And Snowpark overview. Okay, and even we'll be covering any expected features in future or preview state, which will be in preview state, right? Since I said like Snowflake will release updates every week, so they'll be keep adding few features. And they'll be easy to use only. Like major features they'll not be releasing frequently, but minor changes like minor features they'll release. Probably will add if you feel like in particular future if there is some drawback, they'll try to enhance that way. Okay, they'll keep on improving their service. Since it's a software as a service, they'll keep on adding features and enhancements to the existing stuff. So it will be all the time. It will have advantage over other services. Okay, those were the key things. Okay, and if you see what will be the key takeaway of this course, right? You will be able to clear certifications and related to Snowflake with ease, since this course is end-to-end course, and we are covering all the stuff, and we'll be able to crack any interviews for any role: lead, developer, architect, manager, all these sort of roles, even architect. So since we are starting from basic to advanced, you can gain proficiency in Snowflake so that you can directly start working in projects. That's what I said, right? So, and why, like, SkillScaler is not a consultancy, guys. Like, it is my own platform I've built for offering like training. So this is not a consultancy as such. I'm only giving training. Like I only like build that platform to offer trainings. So here, why you will have to like choose Skillscaler for this particular training, right? Because our content is really differentiating real-time content and complete end-to-end course. No one will cover this stuff. I can share the content with you guys. Probably you can like join that WhatsApp group who are interested. I'll also let me like give me a second. I already shared that uh, like chat link, right? Sorry, WhatsApp group link in the chat. Whoever are interested, they can join that particular link, and I'll share my contact details also. So that mail ID and mobile number, you can contact me for any doubts or something related to this particular course.
So Hitesh, can we ask some questions now?
Yeah, sure. Give me a second. Let me share my contact details so that uh, I ping my contact details here. Like whoever are interested, right? Like they can join that WhatsApp group, or you can share your details also if like you find. I can basically here what other things will be doing is apart from this, we'll be sharing the recording code and content that is discussed in every session. Like sir, let me show you that. So every day, like we'll be sharing you like the recording of that particular days, and then the code that is used in that particular session, along with um, the content that is discussed in that particular training. See here, even including the files that were used for practice. Okay, if you see even the my earlier trainings whichever I gave, like we have like we topic wise we are discussing all the practical stuff. It is not theory part. Okay, this is kind of you will also, if you practice whatever the content we are sharing, right, you will gain that expertise. We are starting from basic, and we are digging on each topic. We are doing deep dive. Okay, that's how it will be. Okay, and then interviews related stuff, right? Interview questions, scenarios with solution will be sharing the topic wise. And then if someone wanted to go for certification, right, we'll be providing dumps free of cost. If you see, since it is new skill, like people outside market, right, they're charging like 5K 10K for even dumps, right? So like we are giving all these things free of cost. Apart from this, we are giving, like we are helping them for CV preparation, and once they have prepared, like we'll review them, and if there any changes, we'll be able to provide them. Okay, and then based on like your background, like most of them may not be from this particular background, right? So for them, like we kind of like we'll understand their background. Based on them, like we'll give some interview tips. Like suppose if you have worked on Oracle or SQL Server or any ETL tool, right? Like if you want to switch to Snowflake, how you should prepare in terms of interview, right? Those customized tips will give, and the fee also is affordable fee and very less compared to other training institutes in market. This is not basically a training institute or consultancy. I'm only giving it. So like we are giving it at affordable price. Okay, and discount if there are any freshers or students. Like since I know like they'll not have the money, right? So for them there will be additional discount, and there will be additional resources for guys from different backgrounds or even freshers, right? We will be able to take I can take extra sessions for them, and we can give some additional info so that they can like they'll be in sync with others in this particular training. Okay, it will be for 40 to 50 hours of duration, the course duration, and it will be usually daily in the mornings, like 8 to 9. It will be for 1 hour duration, and in the weekends probably it can extend up to 2 hours from 9 to 10:30 or 11. Okay, that's how it will be the course structure. Like if anyone are interested, right, like they can join this particular group which I have shared, and also I have shared my contact number and mail ID. You can reach out to me. If anyone has any questions, we can take it now. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Hitesh, I'm Hari.
Yeah, Hari.
Yeah, actually, I have two questions. One is regarding the content you said regarding Snowflake
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah,
Shall I
yeah,
go with that first?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, that actually I understand something like hybrid architecture is patented in Snowflake. Something you said.
Yeah, patented in the sense, yeah, they have like couple of features they have kind of patented. Yep.
Okay, hybrid architecture in the sense like is it
It
only
is it is
Snowflake?
it is kind of like a combination. I mean, it will take, as I said, right? It is combination of like our relational database, that is shared disk, and Hadoop shared nothing architectures. That's what it is. I mean, hybrid in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Means I have just some question. Means is it only Snowflake using all these three clouds, where we can implement on top like a particular
Yeah, yeah.
platform?
Now if you
Or,
see, now if you see, like uh, cloud data, in terms of cloud data warehouse, Snowflake is the one like which is available in all three clouds. And I mean, I'm not sure if there are any small things like small products which are not supported. But if you see like different, I mean, in on large level, like most of the clients who are using Snowflake, right? If you take
yeah.
that level, yeah, who has put that impact in the market, right? Who has created that impact in the market? Snowflake is the one like who support which supports which is available in all three cloud platforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And
Hmm.
my one more question is regarding this course structure.
Hmm.
Means do we have any real-time project end to end?
Yeah, yeah. That is also listed here. Like I forgot to show you that. So that is also listed. Like we will be covering a real-time project. In a sense, we'll be able to. Let me show you that. That point is also listed in this content. Okay. Practical examples that covers all the things, and then give me a second.
Yeah, because means we are
Yeah,
almost
see
new
here.
to Snowflake.
Yeah, overview of end-to-end project implementation. In the sense, what we do in real projects. That is, I'll show the end-to-end flow. Like we'll be covering everything. In the end, like we'll think like how it how well, I mean how we'll start with data. I mean from end to end, like how in projects we'll implement Snowflake. Okay,
Yeah,
that
in
will be
all
covered.
the steps
Yeah,
like
correct,
developing
correct.
and testing, this kind of things.
Yes, yes.
Or if you can guide us or
Yeah,
group
yeah.
us
Those things,
to
if
perform
you have
those
any doubts on
tasks.
that stuff, right? Like you can contact me personally. I can like assist you
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else has any questions, we can take.
Thank you, Hitesh.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Hello.
Hey, I had a question.
Hey, hi Apu. Yeah.
My name is Apurva.
Mhm.
Actually, I wanted to ask, does Snowflake support Python?
Yeah, yeah. Snowflake supports Python in the sense using like as I said, like this we will be able to load data into Snowflake using Python. We have connectors for Snowflake in Python. We can use them and we'll be able to load data and perform any operations. But with the Snowpark, right, we'll be able to even like distribute our like ETL stuff like that is to extract and transform and load data into Snowflake on top of by using this warehouse that is for compute, that Snowflake compute, in order to run our external code, external Python code. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Even with see for Python developers, like see SQL guys, like they can focus on data loading and data analytics stuff. But Python guys also, like since the after the Snowpark, they'll have very good future with Snowflake if they learn it.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Hmm. But it is not mandatory to use Python for Snowflake, it is compatible with Python. Okay. Hmm. So, any other queries, guys? Feel free to reach out.
Hey Hitesh, I'm
Hey,
Karthik here. Yeah, is there any way like we can show like a simple crude operations in using the SP in Snowflake side, like a like insert how it will work. Those contents also will be applicable. Yeah? Like in
what is
terms of
that?
SP. Like
SP?
we want to write, yeah, we want to write the SP like a simple insert SP, insert statement, select SP, update or delete. SP, stored procedures, basically.
Okay.
So those things also the course, the content.
Yeah, those things. Yes. If you see, like yesterday, like for the last batch, whichever we covered, like in terms of stored procs, if you see, I can show you that content as well for your side. Like we are covering all the stuff, like how we'll like create stored procs, what we'll do inside stored procs. That is whichever you are saying, right? And even one particular framework. If you see the content, that is also listed. Like we'll be showing like generic stored procs, generic framework, generic stored procedure framework that can be used for our workloads, as you said, like to load data, to insert, or whatever things you wanted to perform. Even if you have to implement SCD scenarios, I'll share this content with you guys. So that's why, like, if you can, you can ping your details also, like with me in WhatsApp. If someone is not willing to share here, yeah, okay. I can share the content with you guys. Based on that, you can take call. That is not an issue.
Yeah, like a data binding and simple insert. Yeah, insert update using the JavaScript. They'll
everything we have done. Like if you see, like data binding, everything is covered. Like if I can show you that, like right away here itself. Okay. Let me show you. Yeah. So we'll bind input parameters. All that stuff is covered. That's what it is. Not basic stuff. It is advanced level. See here. Here I'm binding the input parameters. So those stuff, how to use that, what even what are the differences in terms of caller rights and then owner rights. Those things also were discussed. Okay, it is not basic stuff, from basic to advanced. Okay, don't worry, it is not like regular courses. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
So whoever are interested, right, they can join the group, and I have shared my contact details also. They can get in touch with me personally as well. I can understand their background. Based on that, like we can give customized tips. This is probably if you wanted to, like, I'll share the recording as well. Like probably let me stop the recording. If anyone, if you would like to refer any of your friends also, you are welcome.